Hey, what's happening, folks? We're going to talk overlay NBA. A lot of near misses on the jackpots yesterday. I know there's a guy, I don't think I know who it is, but Minnesota Fatty got knocked out of being 12-0 in the $2.5 one, like at the last minute, which is, it's a tough pill to swallow. Not as tough as if it was like the $20,000 one, but there's a couple 11 ones. I saw our boy Matthew Gateris, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, was really good last night. Ryan Monks continues to have really good records. And even when you're not getting that top 10%, you're beating the people that have the showdowns against you, so you're still like doubling your money.
I feel like Ryan Monks crushes the overlay game. He's always talking to me about it. I love it. And man, I do feel for that Minnesota Fatty because I think during, before the quarantine, he was up there a couple of times too, because I remember making the joke, if I were him, I'd be wanting to smoke a Minnesota Fatty after that.
I was looking through the standings yesterday. He had a few entries. So I think it's easier to get to the top, obviously, if you go with a multitude of lineups. No different than playing GPPs on FanDuel or DraftKings, but it's tough to win that jackpot, but they're out there. And as great as the $20,000 one says, like the $1,200 off of $2.5, I mean, that's not so bad in its own right.
Not at all.
So, all right. So this is similar to yesterday when I'm still mad for the NBA one that I didn't just flat out pick Harden and Doncic over Giannis. I think I kind of opted out of some of the bigger money ones and some lower ones. And we were both pretty confident yesterday that Giannis wouldn't see a full run of minutes. Dude didn't even touch the floor in the second half. So I'm annoyed at myself right now.
Do you think, like, you were watching that game, right? The Milwaukee-Brooklyn game?
Most of it, yeah.
Do you think, all right, do you think they had it planned not to play in the second half?
Yes.
So do I. But I also think, that little dust up that Giannis got into.
The cheap shot to his neck?
Didn't make it any easier for him to come back in the game. Like, I think that, they don't want anything escalating like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought about that because, when Giannis got up looking like he was ready to fight, and that's just not who he is at all, right? And, you got a guy out there, Dante Hall, who's playing for absolutely nothing that, like, maybe, I don't know this dude, maybe that's his thing, right? Like, I want to take out, the MVP or something like that. Like, that's
I didn't think it was that cheap, to be honest.
I went more off of Giannis's reaction because I've watched this guy play 82 games a year, a few years in a row. He never gets up like that.
I thought he overreacted, but I mean, I'm not in his shoes. And that was funny. Like, you could literally see what he mouthed right after. He was like, I'm going to fuck him up. And then he was like, I'm going to fuck him up.
All right, so let's go back to these three big guys right here. We got Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Joel Embiid. I know you're starting to get a little concerned that the Lakers might sit one of the big guys, which, again, is entirely possible, which would knock these off the board. But if it was just me, the more I think about it, I'm going Embiid, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. And the reason I like Davis over James, which is rare for me, I do see LeBron playing three-dimensional chess right now, and that is to get AD going and get his confidence rolling. Because if the Lakers want this chip, like, it can't be just LeBron. Anthony Davis can't be coming up small as routinely as he does.
I love that call. I'll agree with you there. I like Embiid first, and I'll go AD and Bron.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers are good, and LeBron's great, but AD's got to be AD in the fourth quarter, too. Like, we talked about it when he got to LA, right? That we thought, like, what Dwayne Wade did for LeBron could do for Anthony Davis, and I feel like that's what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nikola Jokic against Ben Simmons. This is a tough one for me because I love the upside of Simmons today, but I trust the floor of Jokic more. He's just more engaged consistently.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is a tough one. I'll go Jokic as well, but very tough.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I'll take Jokic, but I don't like it. This is one I won't be picking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how about Siakam versus Kyle Lowry?
Man, give me Siakam, but
Agreed.
It's real tough. I don't think I'd pick it.
See, I will pick this one, and for me, this is all about Lowry was great the other day, and then Van Vleet was great the game after that. For me, the fact that Jonathan Isaac is out, like, that's the one guy that matches up really well with Siakam on Orlando. So I'll go with Pascal in this one.
I get it. I like it.
All right, Morant versus Valanciunas. This is very similar to the Simmons question for me because if I'm trying to win a GPP today at a different type of pace side, I like Valanciunas, but I'll take the raw floor of Morant in this situation.
Yeah, I'll take Morant too. He's been doing a lot. He hasn't been shooting well, but if that picks up, then he's, I like him better than Javel everywhere. So yeah, all day.
Yeah, I like the idea of Javel, but man, this guy has been a hack and a half, in the bubble. So I'll take the floor. All right, man. Gobert versus Mitchell. Mitchell has been better on DK. I know that in the bubble, but Gobert doesn't miss shots. And just to reiterate to guys, you lose points for missed shots on this website. So that's why I almost always side with Gobert. And now their front line's a little decimated with no Jaren Jackson Jr., just one less guy down there.
I like Mitchell a lot today. I'm going to pick him over to Gobert because I would pick him over a lot of people. So give me Mitchell.
All right. Joe Ingles versus Dylan Brooks. Again, I'm going to go with the raw floor of Dylan Brooks. And also with no Jaren Jackson Jr., they might need his scoring a little bit more.
I'm with you. Give me Brooks.
All right. Thomas Bryant versus Al Horford. Give me Thomas Bryant.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a much better DFS player at this point, and he's much more needed.
The Al Horford signing,
Mm-mm.
I feel like was too cute, right? Like they were trying to get a guy in Horford who was really good against Giannis, that you take him off the Boston. Yeah, and take him off the Boston Celtics. He just doesn't fit with this team.
Like, yeah, I agree with you. It's like they got too cute in the sense that, like, oh, like we're so good that like all we have to do is take, one of our main competitors' best guys that matches up against Milwaukee and we'll like beat everyone. Well, it hasn't worked because Horford doesn't fit with them.
No, he doesn't fit with because like Horford and Embiid can hit threes, but they're not great 3-point shooters. Like Horford can hit a wide open three as well as a lot of big men, but he ain't taking anybody off the dribble. Like you're not scared of him out there.
That's the other thing. Neither of them can handle the ball at all. So even though they can shoot a little bit, neither of them can handle it at all.
All right. Rui versus Troy Brown. I'm just a bigger Troy Brown guy.
I'll take Troy Brown too.
Okay.
I like both. I'll take Brown.
Here's a couple of guys you like. DeJounte Murray versus Derek White.
I like Murray's upside more, but I trust White more. So give me White.
Okay. Gallow. I'll side with you on that one as well. Gallow versus Steven Adams. Give me the raw floor of Gallinari on this one. Steven Adams, I like him certain days, but the hardest place to ball against the Lakers is down the block. Now, Dwight Howard is questionable tonight, but I don't know about that till later, so I'm just going to stick with Gallo.
So this could definitely change if like AD is out or something, because I think it's really close. And I'm going to go with Adams just because he's a center, but I'll have to take a wait and see approach on it.
Okay, KCP versus Kuzma. Kuzma coming off a rough game, but I'm going to stick with Kuz.
Same, especially if someone's out. I mean, he gets the biggest jump probably.
Yeah, that is something to watch too for your other kind of lineups. Same thing goes right here, Danny Green, Caruso. I'll take Caruso, but like if Bron was out, like Caruso's like the top value play on the slate.
Exactly. Agreed all the way around.
All right, Dwight Howard versus Javel McGee. Well, with Howard being questionable, this one's, good chances is not even applicable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they both play, I won't pick it, but I'll say McGee for the sake of the video.
All right, Fred VanVleet coming off one of the best games of his career versus Aaron Gordon, who played very well yesterday in his own right. No Jonathan Isaac. Give me Aaron Gordon, which is not where I would normally go here.
Give me Aaron Gordon also. Yeah, I was shocked to see you pick Gordon over VanVleet.
Yeah, call it a gut feel.
Hey,
Orlando played so terrible in the first quarter yesterday. I expect a good, solid effort from them early, which is where Aaron Gordon often does his damage.
I agree with you 100%.
Okay. OG Anunoby versus Nick Powell. I'm going to opt out of this question for the time being. This is one I need to do more looking into.
Has Norman Powell been playing?
That's where I don't know. I haven't watched enough of the Raptors in the bubble.
I'll go Anunoby, but I don't love it.
Okay. Terence Ross versus Evan Fournier. We had this one yesterday. I'm pretty sure I got it wrong, but I'm going to stick with Fournier like I always do.
Yeah, I'll go Fournier. Also, just trust him a lot more.
All right, we got Augustine versus Markella Fultz. Augustine. So here's a story for you. I told you I just barely snuck into the money on NBA yesterday. Reason being, like, I made a terrible last-minute pivot when I saw that Robin Lopez was starting. He did nothing, didn't play enough minutes, fouled out, and then I ended up having this guard spot that I just had nobody in the price point that I liked, and so I ended up using DJ Augustine. I didn't like it, but he was the best guy in this, in my opinion, in this area, and he was terrible yesterday as well. So I felt very fortunate to sneak in the money. So that all being said, we got no MCW today, more than likely, which should add a little minutes to both of these guys.
Yeah. Give me Fultz, but I don't love it.
Yeah, me either. I'm gonna go. No, you know what? I'm gonna go with Augustine. He played bad yesterday, and he's gonna play better today.
Okay, I get it.
All right, Gordon Hayward versus Jaylen Brown. Flip a coin.
I like Jaylen Brown. He looks really good right now, but it's definitely a flip a coin type situation.
Okay, I'll just pick Gordon Hayward just so we can differ on this one, but there's no real rhyme or reason. This is one of the last ones I'll ever pick. We talked about these Boston guys at length on the members only video, always at the bottom of the list.
I think we'll definitely agree on the next one, though.
Daniel Theis?
Yes.
Yeah, big men versus Brooklyn. I will pick that one. All right, Harris versus DeRozan. Harris has got the significantly better matchup. DeRozan is much more needed, so I'm going to go with DeRozan. Give me the floor.
Same. Give me DeRozan here also.
And then Vooch versus Tatum. Give me Tatum. No Kemba Walker. I like Vooch's floor, but I'm going to play for some upside on Tatum on this one.
Yeah, I like Tatum here too. Give me Tatum. Yeah, we agreed on a lot today.
Yeah, not a good spot for Vooch. I mean, Vooch always has a good floor because of who he is, but against Toronto with Gasol and Siakam and Ibaka, a lot of these really good interior defenders, it's a tough game for Vooch coming on the tail end of the back-to-back.
It is.
So, all right, guys, that's what we got for Overlay today. Go get yourself that jackpot and then share it with us.
Thanks, guys.